Hello, Sat Shri Akal, Salam, very good morning. Thank you for joining. Today we'll be talking about spousal open work permits and spousal sponsorship. Two major topics. We received so many calls on this, and I know there's a lot of confusion because of this pandemic. ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਦੋਂ ਸਪਾਊਸਲ ਓਪਨ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟਸ ਖੁੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਖੁੱਲ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਪਾਊਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਸੱਦ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸਪਾਊਸਲ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊਜ਼ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵੈਬਿਨਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਆਈ ਨੋ देयर हैज बीन lot of questions on spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permit we'll be talking about that I will be joined by a licensed immigration consultant, a part of Brampton Immigration Consultancy, Mr. Russell, who will be discussing on these topics. So before we start, we'll be starting in 1 minute. So 1 minute, and let's give time to our friends who can join the webinar as well. So we'll be starting the webinar in next 1 minute. Sat Shri Akal dosto, thank you for joining. Spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permits. Two different topics, but helps families to reunite. Spousal open work permits help students and people on post-graduation work permit and others to bring their spouses on open work permit so that they can work in Canada and assist their family members. Spousal sponsorship helps permanent residents and Canadian citizens to reunite. So let's welcome Mr. Russell, our licensed immigration consultant, a core member of Brampton Immigration team. He will be helping us today to discuss, to see how does spousal open work permit assist people to come to Canada, and how does spousal sponsorship help people to reunite. So very good morning, Mr. Russell. How are you?
Good morning, Sandeep. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So how's the weather today?
The weather is perfect, even though it's not as sunny as yesterday. However, it's very nice, I would say.
Yeah. It's in India, we call it like samosa day. So it seems like we should have tea and samosas in this weather. But anyhow, so Russell, the topic for today is spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permit. So I know these are two different topics, but at the end, both helps families to reunite. A core principle of Canadian immigration, like the basic principles of Canadian immigration was and is still, and I think will continue to reunite families, and that's the fundamental of Canadian immigration. So what do you feel about spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permits, and how do you see them during this pandemic?
That's correct. We are talking here about two different types of work permit. Even though they're both open, they apply to different categories.
Yeah.
If we are talking about spousal work permit, open work permit, we are talking about people who come to Canada, and they are, for example, their husband or common law partner is an international student. So in this case, the spouse of an international student who is studying in Canada full-time is eligible to apply for an open work permit. And this can be done within Canada or outside of Canada. commonly, and that's what the international students are practicing, is they are applying together. However, it can be done at a later stage as well. So, for example, if somebody has married after they enrolled in the school, they married someone, and they would like the spouse to come to Canada and work here, that would be possible. With respect to a work permit, an open work permit for those who want to immigrate to Canada, that's a totally different subject. So we have here spouse, common law, and conjugal partners. And that's three different categories, subcategories as well. So we are talking here about coming to Canada or immigrating to Canada based on the family sponsorship. And family in this case, I would say, I would call it inland application. So inland application is for those who are in Canada, who are married, who are in common law relationship or in conjugal relationship with someone in Canada, a Canadian citizen or permanent resident of in Canada, and they would like to immigrate. The sponsorship is a main pillar of immigration, refugee, and citizenship Canada. So this is something that immigration paying very close attention to, because many people applying under this program. What Immigration Canada wants to see here is the relationship is genuine. And this is the most common and a standard that immigration is checking first, whether to allow someone to apply for permanent residency based on their marriage or common law relationship or conjugal partner relationship. Once they apply, an applicant in Canada applies for permanent residency in Canada, and once the application is approved in principle, in this case, Immigration Canada is allowing this person who is in Canada to apply for an open work permit. So this open work permit will allow them to work in Canada while they are in the immigration process. While the immigration process is being finalized, they will be eligible to work in Canada. Now, what it takes and what subgroups we have under the category for sponsorship. So we have spouses. Spouses in Canada are those who are married, who are legally married, and they have a certificate of marriage. When we talk about common law partners, we are talking about those who live together for at least 1 year, and they have proof. They can prove to the Immigration Canada that they have cohabited for at least 1 year. What documents they will have to supply to confirm that? That would be rental agreement, that would be bills, that would be many other documents, plus supplementary documents as proof from relatives, letters in support to show to immigration that many people are aware of that. There are many facts that they have been living together for at least a year. Now, conjugal partners, it's a category that is very similar to common law partners. However, conjugal partners may not be able to live for 1 year because of religious beliefs, because of same-sex issues in the country where it is not recognized, or because of any other reasons, for example, medical reason, or long distance. It's very hard to prove the conjugal partners relationship, and therefore immigration paying very special attention to those people who are calling themselves common law partners to conjugal partners. They need much more proof than those who have a certificate of marriage, for example. So I have, prior to this webinar, I went on the internet to see what would be possible challenges for sponsorship from India. And what I see from here that it's historically in India, there have been a higher than average incident of marriage of convenience. And therefore, many people are being called for an interview to confirm that their relationship or their marriage is genuine. So
you mean to say marriage of convenience in easy words would be fake marriages or contract marriages, people who are doing contract marriages just to come to Canada. Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. People who are coming to Canada are getting married or are stating to immigration that there are common law spouses or partners, But doing it only for the purpose to get a permanent residency in Canada, it's not the marriage that Immigration Canada wants to see and will be approving for immigration purposes.
So is contract marriage legal in Canada?
When you say contract marriage, what do you mean by contract marriage?
Marriage of convenience.
Marriage of convenience, no, it's not. No, it's
And
not, and this type of application would be refused.
And is it only the refusal, or is it also misrepresentation and ban of 5 years?
That's correct. Once the fact of the relationship, which is not genuine, is confirmed, and immigration is satisfied, they have the strong evidence to confirm this fact. In this case, the applicant will be barred for 5 years from coming to Canada or immigrating here.
Oh, so that means, friends, if you are doing a contract marriage or marriage of convenience, just think of this, that if you are caught, there is a ban of 5 years. You are misrepresenting government, and this is illegal. So if some ghost consultant is advising you to do so, please be aware of this, that you might be banned to enter Canada for at least 5 years. And the way to Canada, even after 5 years, will not be easy because you tried to cheat in a Canadian government. Am I right, Mr. Russell?
That's correct. That's correct. Immigration Canada is not in favor of those or for those who are trying to cheat or who are trying to get the ticket to Canada by providing false information, including false marriages.
I have another question. I know there will be many questions in the chat box too. We'll go to those as well. But my question is that, let's say I'm married. I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm married to an Indian national individual. Am I forced to sponsor my wife? Do I really need to sponsor my wife if I don't wish to do so?
No, you don't. No, you don't. You can ask your spouse to come to Canada as a visitor. Your spouse can come here as an international student, or she can even apply for a work permit if she's eligible to do so, and she has an employer in Canada.
So just to let you know, the reason I asked this, because there have been a few stories from last few weeks going around on social media that individual did not sponsor his or her spouse, and that's the reason that that individual will be deported. We'll talk about deportation and all that stuff some other day, but the point that I wanted to highlight, that sponsoring someone is the right of a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, whether he or she wants to sponsor someone. Am I right? No one is forced to sponsor someone.
Absolutely not. Nobody in Canada is forced to do anything. And there is an obligation on the part of the sponsor Canadian citizen to take some kind of step. If they want to sponsor a person, they have to fill out the application forms. They have to go through the process to verify the background, whether they are eligible to sponsor based on financial assessment and undertaking and all other documents. However, nobody is forced in Canada to do anything unless that's your own wish.
Perfect. I'm gonna we are gonna come back to possible challenges for sponsorship, especially focusing on South Asia, or we can also call the Indian continent, close by, all the countries close by to India. But before we do that, friends, from last 2-3 days, I have received few videos in which a ghost consultant talking to a news anchor says that if a student can get a study permit from Ludhiana from a ghost consultant, why can't he or she get his or her spousal open work permit through that same consultant? I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's dig what Canadian government says on this. Is ghost consultant allowed to give any immigration advice? Did you do a right thing by going to a ghost consultant? Who is a ghost consultant? A consultant who is not authorized by Canadian government, who doesn't have a Canadian ICCR, who is not ICCRC consultant, or a Canadian lawyer, or a notary public from Quebec. So let's see what does Canadian government says on this, and then we'll come back to Mr. Russell on possible challenges, because I think one of the biggest challenge is to be aware from these ghost consultants, because they are not allowed to give any immigration advice as per Canadian law. And this is not what Mr. Sandeep is saying or Mr. Russell is saying. This is what Canadian immigration law says. I'm going to take you to the Canadian immigration website within a second, and let's see what Canadian immigration website says on this. So friends, I hope you can see the screen. Yes, you perfect. So if you see this, this is Government of Canada website. It says learn about representatives. There is a video on this. I would suggest everyone to do see this video whenever you have few minutes or seconds. And let's see, representatives could be, who could be the representative? A citizenship or immigration consultant, that is ICCRC consultant. You will see that ahead. A lawyers, friends, or a family member. So when you talk about types of representatives, there are two types, paid and unpaid. Who is authorized to be a paid representative? These are only three individuals who can be your paid representative: lawyers and paralegals who are members in good standing of a Canadian provincial or territory law society, notaries who are members in good standing of the chambers de Notary du Quebec, and citizenship or immigration consultants who are members in good standing of the immigration consultants of Canada Regulatory Council. So these are ICCRC consultants. The most important point I want to highlight is this. If you can see the screen, it says we means Canadian government, we won't deal with representatives who charge a fee but are not authorized. So these ghost consultants are not authorized. If you use, as a consumer, if you use an unauthorized representative in Canada or abroad, we may return your application or refuse it. So, friends, why to take this risk? Why to go to ghost consultants and take a risk of getting your application refused or maybe return it? So it's not me who said that. You just saw a Canadian government website which clearly says that who can represent you. And if you use a ghost consultant, what's going to happen? They are going to return your application, or they may even refuse the application. So it's my humble request, because we have been seeing this a lot, especially with the recent incidents that happened in Punjab, those unfortunate incidents. We have been seeing that even the media have been giving spaces to people who are ghost consultants, and Canadian government doesn't allow those ghost consultants to give even an advice. I mean, if doing filing is something different. They are not even allowed to give an advice. So, Mr. Russell, a little bit on these ghost consultants, and then we'll come back to possible challenges for sponsorship from India.
Ghost consultants have always been on the market. It's not something that it's something relatively new. It has been like this for a very long time, and I have more than 25 years experience working in this field. So I have seen it from the time when there was no license for immigration consultants in Canada to present time, when all those who are charging money for providing immigration services, including consultations, should be authorized by the ICCRC, a professional body in Canada, to provide these services. In fact, when we represent the client, all those who are lawyers or immigration consultants and who are registered in Canada, we have to sign a special document called Use of a Representative that allows us to represent the client. And we declare to Immigration Canada that we are in charge of this file. We declare to our professional body that we will be responsible for the file from start to finish, and the money taken from the client will go to the special account, and this account will be is being monitored by our professional body. So therefore, Therefore, we are under obligation to provide all the information concerning the case if we are asked to do so. And if Immigration Canada will find out that we are no licensed, they will take our name off the file. For example, some people are losing their licenses or being suspended. In this case, Immigration Canada will inform the client that this person is not authorized to represent and is not authorized representative, so therefore they cannot continue with your file. With ghost consultants are totally different story. And why the story is totally different? Not because the consultants are not authorized in Canada. It's because, and it's what I think, and this is very important to know, that ghost consultants, they do not have specific, special knowledge to deal with complex or even simple cases. What ghost consultants do, in fact, they just help you, the applicant, to fill out the application forms. And in some cases, when they ask for more money and when the client or the applicant is inclined to hire someone who is not licensed, they asking them questions, how to avoid answering certain questions if they're not comfortable with these questions. Let's say if, for example, they're applying under spousal sponsorship programs and they want to come to Canada having no legitimate marriage in Canada. So the marriage is fake. It's a marriage of convenience. The money was paid to a Canadian sponsor in order for the sponsor to sponsor the spouse from overseas. And in this case, the middleman here is a ghost consultant. So he takes money in order to advise the applicant how to cheat. So what's happening in this case? The applicant may be happy about it to begin with. They would pay the money. They think that they did the good job, and they will somehow confuse Immigration Canada and confirm to them that the marriage is bona fide or real. However, the Immigration Canada, they have special departments. They have great tools to verify the fact and will be asking for more information, eventually perhaps even a spousal interview, and they will verify all this information. And once Immigration Canada understands that the person has made of false declaration or provided with wrong documents, and also understand that this has been supported by a fake consultant, as you can imagine, it's not going to be the best end of this story. So Immigration Canada will be punishing these people who are providing false information. They are getting into marriage just for immigration purposes. And in addition to that, who hired someone to advise how to do this, how to cheat. So my advice is, and based on my 25 years of experience in this field, is to, if you do not have funds to hire an immigration consultant, please go to the website, please listen to the videos that provided by Immigration Canada and do this application by yourself. However, what I would suggest here in this case, if the people are limited in terms of financing, in terms of hiring someone professional, in this case, you can get a simple consultation, and a couple of consultations may help this person to assemble an application and apply. And there is always a question. There is always a question with respect to what should I do? What's my next step? What documents need to submit? So it's never plain. It's never simple. However, for those who have the opportunity to hire an immigration consultant or an immigration lawyer, they should be making sure that this person they are hiring in Canada is registered. There is a special website, and perhaps some tip you can share with the people, that the folks who are listening us, the website and links where they can go and verify whether the person in Canada is registered, is authorized to represent the client or not.
Perfect. I'm going to share that screen within the next few minutes, but by that time, let's talk about the possible challenges that we were talking about. Yes, Mr. Russell.
Oh, sorry, I missed your question. So you would like to know the possible challenges, right? Yes. So the challenge here is, and we're talking here about possible challenges for sponsorship for India. So I have mentioned one that is related to the marriage of convenience. The second one would be arranged marriage. It's a very common thing in India to be married and to be married by the way of arranged marriage. Immigration officers, Immigration Canada, are very well aware of this fact, and they are not against it. They just wanted to make sure that the arranged marriage is something that will meet the Canadian immigration laws and Canadian immigration requirements. So in many cases, when the arranged marriage is mentioned, it's very important to provide as many documents as possible to prove that the marriage is legitimate. Half, like 50% of these files, this arranged marriage, will be definitely scrutinized. They will be definitely checked whether the marriage is bona fide, and if immigration officer will not be satisfied or is not satisfied that he has enough evidence, enough documents, he will call for an interview. And how the interview will be taking place. So the interview will be taking place in Canada with the sponsor and with the applicant overseas. So in this case, the officer will do this interview the same day to hear the applicant, to hear the sponsor, and then have both evidence, both interview facts, compare and see if there is any discrepancy. So, and if the officer is not satisfied with that, unfortunately, he might refuse the application or ask even for additional information. So in this case, it's very important that you understand if you have a marriage of arranged marriage, it's very important to compose the best file possible. And the best way to do this is to hire a professional who will go with you through all the facts, through all the documents, and advise you what else is needed in order to have a good application. In the event, if you're not able to do so, a few consultations would also make sense. That the few consultations will make sense to get a good grasp of what exactly immigration is looking for and what do you have on your table and what you're going to submit at a later stage to immigration to prove that your arranged marriage is legitimate and it's not being done for immigration purposes as such. However, we should be keeping in mind that everyone who is applying for permanent residency under spousal sponsorship category or family category, in this case, they're all coming to Canada to immigrate. So immigration is in their mind. It's not something that can be avoided. That's actually the only reason to get the permanent residency, come to Canada and live with your spouse. However, it should not be the only reason, because behind this reason should be many others reasons, and the most important thing is to reunite with your spouse, to form a family, and to establish your family in Canada. That's why you are asking Immigration Canada to approve your application, not because you want to immigrate here and see what happens next. That's totally two different things, so please keep this in mind. And the third thing, which we may call challenges for sponsorship for India, that would be the polygamy. So polygamy marriages are prohibited in Canada. It's a crime. You cannot be married with someone and then marry someone else. Before, you should be divorcing this person, or you should be having a separation agreement, and then you can join your spouse in Canada as a common law partner. And I'm not going to go into deep waters about it. However, two marriages in Canada at the same time is illegal. However, if you are in this situation, please consult with a professional. In this case, Brampton Immigration will be providing you with the best services possible in that. And we had a great experience working with people in complicated situations when they were married or still married in their home country. However, they would like to come and join their spouse, and they cannot get a divorce before they immigrate to Canada. So consult with us. It's possible. However, it has to take certain steps. It will require lots of documents to prove that this situation is something that you can use for immigration purposes and to join your spouse in Canada or your common law partner.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Russell, for providing such a depth knowledge about spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permit. I'm gonna start digging into the questions. Like we have a lot of comments, but before we do that, you question like how can we need to inform our friends how can they find out if individual whom they are working is licensed or not. So I'm gonna share the screen, and I hope everyone can see this. So friends, if you see, this is ICCRC website. So you go to this website. This is called public register. And if you want to see if our director, Tanveer Singh, is licensed or not, just type Singh, Tanver, and search. Oh, he is registered. So you can see his status is active. This is his license number. And this is his contact information. If you don't know the exact first name and last names, what you can do is that you can search an individual with by the last name. So, or you can do advanced RCIC search, whatever the any way you want to find an individual whether he's licensed or not. So this is the best way to find out whether an individual that you're working with is licensed or not, and it's really important to do so that no one gives you wrong information. Okay, now is the best time. I always like to interact with people when and let's start with the comments and stuff. So Karanveer Rana, very good morning, sir. Very good morning, Karanveer ji. Hope for positive results. 100%. We are hoping for that too. However, I'm gonna let you guys know about study permits that we have heard that for September batch, there is a good amount of refusals that people are getting. In last 2 days in India office, we have received around 20 to 24 cases that were refused by some other companies, and now they have brought those cases to Brampton Immigration Consultancy. If you need any assistance and your case have been refused or it's a brand new application, feel free to contact us and we will be more than happy to assist. Suman Satpal Singh, good morning, very good morning, Suman ji. LS Deo, need truck driver LMI. Good luck, Mr. Deo. I would rather recommend to book a consultation with Brampton Consultancy and see what options do you have. Spouse visa बारे दसो. So Suman ji, I पूरी दी पूरी वीडियो ही पूरी गलबात ही spouse visa ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸੀ. Spouse visa ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਦੋ ਮੇਜਰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਪਾਊਜ਼ਲ ਓਪਨ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ ਅਤੇ ਸਪਾਊਜ਼ਲ ਪੀਆਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ. ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਪਾਊਜ਼ਲ ਓਪਨ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ. ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਲਈ ਇਨਫੋਰਮ ਕਰੋ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ, ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਟੇਲਡ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਐਗਜ਼ੈਂਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਆਉਣ ਲਈ ਕਿਉਂ ਅਲਾਉ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਸੋ ਸਪਾਊਜ਼ਲ ਓਪਨ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਈ ਜਵਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ, please feel free to contact us. Book your consultations with bramptonconsultancy.com. We can help you with that. So Vicky says, hi Sandeep sir, I hope it is a great session. Thank you so much, Vicky. I hope it was a great session. Akashdeep Korgil, good morning, very good morning. So Kavaljot Kaur, scope for teacher in Canada from India. So Kavaljot, it all depends your profile, your points. It's a very the information that you have provided is very less. I would recommend to book consultation so that we can assist you properly. Okay, Baltej Singh, Sat Sri Akal ji, thank you very much for organizing this great webinar. There are a lot of confusions about essentially of opening essentiality of opening work permits entry in Canada. I hope I will get my answers. 100% Baltej ji. So as I said, if you are fully vaccinated and you haven't received your replies from Canadian government yet, please inform Canadian government that you are fully vaccinated. Secondly, You need to send a document that how do you fall under exemption? Why should Canadian government exempt you? And why should they allow you to enter Canada? In that case, if you need our assistance, please feel free to contact us and we will be more than happy to assist you in that case. So Jaspreet says hi. I say thank you so much. Hello, Jaspreet ji. Inderpreet from Chandigarh. Thank you, Inderpreet, for joining. So Mr. Junaid Khan says, Sat Sri Akal, Mr. Junaid ji. And I have a good news that our director, Tarnveer, I just received a message that he will be joining us too. So today seems like a good day. Russell, you spared some time and so did Tarnveer. So I'm just forwarding him the link. So within next few minutes, Tanvir will be joining as well. I have just sent him the invitation and yep, so he will be joining soon. So once Tanvir joins, we'll have more information about spousal open work permits and spousal PR. Okay. So Maninder Kaur, great discussion live every Saturday without fail. Thank you so much, Maninder ji. It's just to give you right information so that instead of paying $110 to us through consultations, I mean, we would love that you book your consultations, but this information helps answering most of your questions. But still, for the depth knowledge, we can have the consultations, we can talk to people and help them come to Canada, or if they're already in Canada, fulfill their dreams. So Sukhdev Singh, good Paji. Thank you, Sukhdev ji. It's been a long time. So Sukhdev was one of our client and he is in Canada now. So Sukhdev ji, it's been a long time we have seen you. Thank you for joining today. Akash Deep Kaur Gill, PNP program which medical da ki banega. So which PNP are we talking about, Akash Deep ji? Thoda ja visthar de vich dasso. If you have specific questions, it's always better to book consultations because ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ exact information ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. Jagdeep Sandhu, spouse visa the key news ਹੈ ਜੀ. So as I said, spouse visa the news, spouse visa ਦੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ news ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ fully vaccinated ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ spousal open work permit ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ, feel free to contact us. We can assist you in that. So there are two things that will be required. Firstly, you need to be fully vaccinated, and secondly, a detailed document that can explain that why should Canadian government allow you to enter Canada. So just to let you know that Tanvir will be joining us from our new office, Windsor office. He's in Windsor today. People who are in Windsor and want to join, want to meet Mr. Tanvir, just go to our Windsor office, walk in. He will be there till 4 p.m. and you can surely meet him. And here is the man we were talking about. Hey Tanvir, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Very good, thanks.
So
how are you?
Yes, go ahead, Tanvir. I think you said something.
I was just asking how Russell's doing today.
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
So, Tanvir, I hope you can see the screen.
Yep.
So, Jaspreet Kaur just said, Sir, September VV with spouses open work permit file लगाई हुई है, but अजय तक कोई result नहीं आया. So, I leave the stage for you to answer this question.
So what's happening right now is since last year, a lot of applications have not received results. They did mention, so there was an update by CIC that you have to update immigration that what is the reason why you want to come to Canada. Have you sent an email to them? There's a full detailed email that you have to send them. Have they already gotten their vaccinations? Did you update that on Arrive Canada? So you need to do that. I'm not sure if you have done all these steps. You need to let immigration know that the reason you're coming is reason that it is something that you really need to do. It is not just that you want to travel to enjoy yourself. It is about that you and your spouse have been away from each other for a while and you need to meet each other. You need to be there for each other, and that's
Perfect,
the reason
perfect.
why
So
it,
it's a great knowledge to have. So this means that if our friends who have been waiting to get replies and they are not getting replies, I would strongly recommend that please contact us so that we may be able to help you with all this process, in how to send the documents, how to send the vaccination information, and all the steps. Those so these tiny steps makes a huge difference. So we will be able to assist you in that. So I would strongly recommend that please do join or do contact us so that we can help you with that. Yes, Tanvi. So I'm like let's I'm gonna go to more questions, but yes, I would like to hear more about the stuff you were talking about.
regarding the spousal open work permit. So right now, a lot of people are waiting since last year. I have met people who have applied last year, even in March and April, and still haven't received anything. Their status has changed from student to work permit. They did not know what to do. They did not know that they have to update immigration, that now they need a BNOC job or a OAB level supervisor or a technical level job, which has to be updated and informing immigration that I still qualify for the same process. My spouse is in India, and I have done my prerequisites. I qualified to as a sponsor. That is one thing that people really need to keep in mind, that they need to make sure that they keep adding on to that thing. One of the most important things. Secondly, I would say that get your vaccinations and use the can and send that to them. Let them know that you're vaccinated. Let them know that you have done your basic requirements to travel to Canada, and that it's a priority. You want to come to Canada, and these are the reasons. My spouse has been away from me from last 1.5 years. It's hitting our relationship. It's really tough to do a long distance relationship, and that we really need to be together right now during these tough hours.
So I'm gonna highlight few things. The first thing is spousal open work permit. Divide spousal open work permits. So basically, spousal open work permit, the famous uh, people, the famous groups, those who apply for spousal open work permits are firstly the students. So students can either apply for spousal open work permit at the same time when they are applying for study permit. They can apply for their spousal open work permit along with that. The second option, they can apply for spousal open work permit once they reach in Canada. They have the letter of enrollment and all the stuff, and the documentation is ready. They can apply for spousal open work permit at that time. The third situation is post-graduation work permit. A student finishes his or her education, gets his PGWP, and once they have their PGWP, they need to have a job in NOC O, A, or B. So NOC A, O, sorry, O, A, B, any of one of those, either in NOC O or in NOC A or in NOC B. They must have at least 3 pay stubs, and then they can apply for spousal open work permit. So that is about spousal open work permit. Spousal sponsorship. Spousal PR is done by a Canadian citizen or permanent residents, and they invite their spousals to come to Canada on a spousal sponsorship. Am I right, Tanvir?
Yes, of course. And there's only one thing I would like to add to this, that for a spousal work permit, you have to make sure that the job that you have, it is a full-time job. If you have a NOC OAB job, but that's a part-time, you do not qualify. That has to be a full-time job. And secondly, lately I've been getting another question that I am a permanent resident. I got married to my wife who's in India, and I want to go stay with her and do my PR application while staying with her in India and come to Canada together. If you're a permanent resident, you cannot do that. You need to be in Canada to sponsor your spouse if you're a permanent resident. Yes, if you're a citizen, that's a different story. You can be in the same country and you can apply, and immigration can still ask you that we still have doubt that you both are going to come back to Canada and stay here. So they can still ask for this, but a permanent resident cannot apply whilst being outside Canada. They have to be in Canada while they apply for their spouse.
So, Tarvi, Mr. Baltej Singh is asking, Sat Shri Akal, sir, I'm holding a spousal open work permit, which is valid until March 2022. Presently, I'm in India and planning to travel to Edmonton, Canada, but I am not having any job letter at this moment. I am wondered if I am eligible to enter Canada when that doesn't, I mean, I can't see when, and then there's some O. So yeah, so I
So
mean,
we're looking at just the question that we see. Balteji, there was an update that you need to prove that the reason you're coming to Canada, it is essential. So I would still advise you to keep on contacting as many uh, employers that you see in Edmonton. Send them your resumes. Try to find any job. It does not have to be a knock OAB, even any kind of job. And it should be you should be having something to enter Canada. Hopefully in September that might change after, as there is an update after September 22nd. They want to make some changes, but till now, for now, yes, you should still be looking for a job.
so Ms. Priya says, "Hello, sir. How are you? We are doing pretty well, Priya ji, and I assume same for you." Gurjeet Singh, I'm applying
Open
open
work
work
permit.
permit in Feb 2020. So he applied in Feb 2020, and now expire my upfront medical, and I am from outside Canada. What can I do now? I hope you
They
can.
will ask you to do a new medical. That's fine. They will ask you to do another medical. That's it. Just wait for immigration to ask for another medical.
So Gurjeet, just wait, and you will get information to do your re-medicals. Mr. Zunaid Khan, I did my hotel management from Chandigarh University. Then I am a graduate student. I am a job in Canada and abroad country. I am. I think he means to say that I'm looking for a job in Canada and abroad country. Mm, from Haryana. Okay, contact number is this. So, Mr. Zunaid, I would strongly recommend to please book your consultation or reach out to our India office, and we'll be more than happy to assist you.
To see if you qualify for any of the immigration needs. But there is one thing that I would really like to add to this is that you have to go on job bank and drop in your resumes there. That would be a better way to handle the situation, because you're looking for an employer for PR. Our job here is to help you with your PR process or getting your work permit and stuff. um, we do not advertise for other consultant, I mean, for employers to get your jobs. That's not something that immigration consultants do. Our job is to make sure that we can get the work permit part done for you. Our job is to make sure that the employer qualifies when we need to get a LMI part done for you. So yes, we can advise you what kind of employers, we can advise you who can qualify. Do reach out to us so that we can help you with that process.
Mr. Hamdad Anwar says a really good science. Thank you
Thank
so much, Hamdad. It gives us, boost to do these webinars every Saturdays. Gursej Singh Randhawa, sir, I really need your help. Gursej, we will be more than happy to assist. Please feel free to contact us, and that's what we do. Ranjit Udayan. So if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, I'm so sorry for that. LMI issue now. So it all depends. What do
So
you mean to say by that? So LMIs were never stopped. But if you need assistance with work permits or any immigration needs, please feel free to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to assist. Akashdeep, which number I can call? So you can see the Canadian phone number on the screen, and I will try to inform our client, our team members, and they will surely comment on your message, letting you know what's the Indian phone number. I'm working in telecommunication in Chandigarh, age 41. Is it possible for me to apply PR? Very less information, Mandeep ji. Please feel free to book consultation. We'll have to see your profile, and you may qualify in one of the province. Amir Har, Sat Sri Akal, sir, I'm a government teacher. I want to settle in Canada, age 38, 10 years experience. Where I contact? I'm from Jalandhar, Punjab. Please feel free to contact our India office, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Brampton Immigration, our whole team is next level. Thank you so much, Karanveer. It means a lot to us. Arnav Sharma, I suppose. You're best consultant in the world, bro. God bless you. Thank you so much, Arnav. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sir, may I know details about the multiple visit visa? Right here, I am in Riyadh. Yes. Tanvi, can you please answer this?
So you need to have someone who's sending you an invitation to come to Canada as a visitor visa on a visitor visa. The visitor visas, yes, they are so when you say multiple visit visa, so you have multiple entries. Each entry is up to 6 months. That's the max you can stay. But yes, do you have a relative or a friend who wants to invite you to come to Canada? That's something that you're gonna need.
Perfect. So let's take last five questions and then today's session already went long. I'm going to take the last comments from Mr. Russell and Tarunveer after those five questions. Harpreet Kaur, can international students call their parents or is it valid only for PR holders? Tanvi, go ahead.
Can international call their parents? So yes, you can. For a visitor visa, yes. If it again, you cannot invite anyone, even a PR holder or a citizen cannot invite their parents just to come visit them or just to go around, show them the city. You need to have a valid reason why you're calling them during this COVID situation because they are still trying to prevent as much travel as possible. They're still trying to make sure that the bubble stays compact and that no one gets the COVID does not spread. So if there's a valid reason for you to invite your parents, yes, you can.
So, Bhupinder Toor, sir, what about spousal immigration processing time? My biometrics are done few days back.
It's around 174 days, I believe. So yes, it's taking longer than usual.
I think this is third question. Jasneet Kaur, sir. Hello, sir. Is there any scope for civil engineers in highway construction in Canada?
Yes, if you find a job, then there is.
Harnoor Singh, spousal open work permit refusal factors. What are the factors that
Very good question.
very good question, Harnoor. I would love to have answers from both Tanveer and Russell on this.
So the first is, I would say, is a relationship. If you cannot prove that the relationship is genuine, the file is refused. Second, reason to go back. If you cannot prove why would you go back after your spouse and you have finished your destined or your specific status, that's a big reason for refusal. If you do not have enough funds to travel, that is the third reason that they can refuse your application. Fourth is that your sponsor has not been has not obliged with the status or has not obliged with the specific requirements of the status they were in. If they were a student, they have to be a full-time student. But if they were not doing their education full-time, they do not qualify to sponsor you. Hence, the file is going to be refused. So yeah, these are the four things that come to my mind for sure. Russell, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, I think we forgot to mention something about foreign workers because spousal open work permit would apply to them as well. So spouses of foreign workers can apply for an open work permit as well while their spouses, foreign workers, are working in Canada. So please keep in mind, and I'm talking to the folks, that this is the two categories you can use the open work permit for, spousal open work permit.
Yes.
In any event, refusal factors would be something that immigration, for example, they let's say they see the case is falling apart. And as Taranvir mentioned, for example, the student has lost the opportunity to study. The school has asked them to leave, and or for a foreign worker, for example, what if the extension for the work permit was refused? And the same goes with a study permit. What if the student who is applying to extend the study permit application refused? Therefore, the spousal open work permit will be refused as well. Don't forget, folks, that the spousal open work permit is something that is attached to the study permit of the person who is the main applicant and was a main applicant in Canada, or the foreign worker. So therefore, whatever happens to the person who had the work permit or study permit will have a direct impact on your spousal open work permit.
Okay, perfect. So last two comments. Jasneet Kaur, hope to meet you both of you in person, Russell sir and Sandeep sir. Jasneet ji, we will love to meet you as well. Inderpreet Singh says, hello Tanvir Paji, Rab Chardi Kalaj, Rakhe Sabnu. Thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank you.
Inderpreet ji, and I hope same for you. And lastly, Akhil Dogra. Great effort and work. Thank you so much, Akhil. So thank you for joining, guys. I hope we answered most of your questions.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. I'm going to take last comments from Mr. Russell and then from Mr. Tanvir.
I think that we have covered most of the things that we could cover within that 60 minutes. However, what I would like to emphasize on and what I would like to talk about is about those who are undocumented in Canada. For example, if you're in Canada and if you have lost your temporary residency status, or you lost your work permit and you didn't leave Canada, or you lost your study permit and you didn't leave Canada. However, you are in a relationship with someone, and this relationship is bona fide, is genuine, and this person who you are in a relationship with in Canada is Canadian permanent resident or Canadian citizen, please talk to us. I think we can help, and we can do something that if you would like to go through the sponsorship process, but you don't have a legal status in Canada, it's possible that you can go through the process. However, please keep in mind also that the any step with respect to your application process should be done prior to the time when you ask by Canada Border Service Agency or Immigration Canada to come and to leave Canada. So a deportation order, removal order, that's something that will make your case harder. So even though you might have a removal order, even though you're going through the removal proceeding, talk to us. Perhaps we can save you. We can apply for your sponsorship from abroad or within Canada. And if you are within Canada, that's even better, because you can prove, you can collect the documents, you can show the immigration that you have a bona fide relationship. And in fact, you can come for an interview, marriage interview, if required, to prove that you're eligible. And the second thing I would like to mention about students and about foreign workers, if you would like your spouse to work, please allow them to apply for an open work permit. And only then, once they have this open work permit, they can work in Canada. If you do this without the approval and your spouse is working without an authorization to work in Canada, she can get in trouble. She can be deported from Canada, because it's a legal thing in Canada to work here without a proper authorization. And the same goes with the foreign worker, that if your spouse is doing something illegal, it definitely will have impact on your work permit application as well. So please make sure that you are properly prepared, that you have proper advice, that you have consultant, or hire someone who will help you with that, or go to the website, read the information for yourself, and do it accordingly.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Russell, for joining. And let's take the last comments for Tanvir Singh.
Thank you, Russell. I think you covered almost everything that I had in my mind, especially for people who are out of status. And when you brought that up, there was another thing that came to my mind, that since January 30th, 2020, if you have been outside, if you have lost your status, you still have time to restore your status into the same thing that you were doing before till August 31st, 2021. So if you are a person who is in need of something like this, do contact us so that we can help you regain your restore your status actually into the same thing. If you are a student, if you are a work permit, whatever you're doing, so that we can help you with that process.
Perfect. So thank you for joining, folks. And we'll be having the webinar same time next week on Saturday, 31st July. And the topic for that is express entry, how to increase your points. So we know people who are thinking to come to Canada but are not close to 470s, because the second FSW opens, we are pretty sure the score will be above 470. So if your score is less, how can you complete those scores? How can you increase your scores? Feel free to contact us, or do not forget to join us next week, 31st July, same time, for express entry and how to increase your points. Not only that, 7th August is the date when we'll be talking about study permits. With study permits in Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, and UK. So if you're interested for study permits, 7th August is the date. Mark your calendars today. And do join us on Saturday, same time, 7th August, for study permits for Canada, US, UK, New Zealand, and Australia. And for express entry, how to increase your points. The day is 31st July, Saturday, same time. We'll be talking about express entry and how to increase your points. So thank you so much for joining, and please do share these videos. Please. Same benefit. Thank you so much. Take care. Rabraka.